Come on now, fellas! We've got to answer the bell. Now let's go!
Welcome in. It's Reaction Monday here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yow, joined as always, well, unless he's on a boat, by Mo Patton. Glad to have you guys with us. I didn't. I just said that the only time you're not here is if you're on a boat, and that's pretty accurate. I don't know that you've ever missed this show that you weren't on a boat.
That is pretty accurate. Yeah, now that you mention it. So,
that's something right there.
Yeah, because even when I wasn't on a boat, I was just on a beach. I actually made it in.
You made it into the show. So
yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what a heck of a weekend it was. The NFL draft finished up. We've got TERESA Walker, who will join us in just a few minutes to talk about that. The Grizzlies. Wow. Talk about missing on a bet.
Oof.
Jeez.
Oof.
5 point. No. Try 40. Gosh. Tough weekend for fans, for pro sports fans in Tennessee. That's best we can put it. And the NHL playoffs were absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if y'all know, but like, everybody lost. So a crazy weekend in sports from all over the country, and we've got plenty to get to. Today, the Atlanta Braves are continuing game one of a 2-game set today in New York, as they were rained out all weekend long. So we'll talk about the Braves as well, and much, much more. But first, Mo, how was your weekend?
It's all right. Between the sun, wind, rain, and hail at Ravenwood yesterday afternoon, it was all right. Got to see some good girls flag football out there, and did a little umpiring on Saturday. Yeah, life is good. It was a good weekend. It's fun.
I had a 9-10-year-old game on Friday night that ended 3-2. We got all 6 innings in under the time limit. And both pitchers were phenomenal. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming. Put it down.
I'm sure. Oh, by the way, I also managed to get to a gathering Friday night down in Nashville where longtime track and field fixture Junior Ward was honored as his alma mater, East Nashville High School, named their facility in his honor. He's a 1961 graduate of East and was a track standout there, went on and was an athlete at MTSU and came back and pretty well devoted his life to coaching in Metro and particularly at East. So he was recognized over there Friday night, and it was really cool. So congratulations to him. That was probably the biggest thing actually I did this weekend. So that was nice.
Heck of a weekend for a lot of folks, and glad you guys could make it in on Monday. Again, we've got a lot to get to, including the weekend's results and today's schedule. We give you the rundown.
This is the Rundown.
Monday Rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy. ZCA offers a faith-based, Christ-centered education in Murray County. Give them a call today at 931-388-5831 or visit zioneagles.org to schedule your appointment today. Zion Christian Academy, prepared for college, equipped for purpose.
Here we go. Baseball action. Rossview 8, Beach 3, Green Hill 3-1 winners against Bradley Central. It was Clarksville Academy 11, Mount Juliet Christian 2, Columbia Academy 7-6 winners over Battleground Academy, but the Wildcats bounced back with a 4-1 win over the Bulldogs in game 2 of that set. CPA 15-6 against Dixon County. Davidson Academy 9-4 against Donaldson Christian. It was East Hickman 7, Hampshire 1. Father Ryan 4-3 against Gallatin. Franklin a 14-9 winner over Independence. It was University School of Nashville 19, Franklin Road Academy 2. Friendship Christian 17-7 against Nashville Christian. Good Pastor Blanks Ezo Harding 10-0. Grace Christian takes a pair from Providence Christian 17-0 and 10-0. Harpeth a 9-8 winner over Hillsboro. Hickman County with a pair against Zion Christian 3-2 and 3-1. John Oakton 15, Laverne 2. Lincoln County 9-5 winners against Gloucester. And Loretto doubling up Lawrence County 10-5 with Marshall County 9. Columbia Central 4. McCracken County, Kentucky 1-0 against Clarksville. Webb School was a 6-4 winner against Middle Tennessee Christian. Middle MTCS bounces back though with a 9-1 win over Webb in game 2. Oakland 6-3 against Hendersonville. Page 2-1 over Forest. Pope Prep 7-6 against Team Fog, and Richland a 12-2 winner against Cornersville. Station Camp downs Wilson Central 5-1. Stewart's Creek 5-4 over Centennial. Sycamore 4-3 against Montgomery Central. Creekwood 4, Watertown 2, and White House Heritage 17. Stratford nothing.
On Saturday, Mount Juliet defeated Bradley Central 5-1. It was Brentwood Academy 14, Hillwood 3. Battleground Academy eliminated Columbia Academy from the postseason with a 12-7 win. It was Cookeville 3, Brentwood 2. Decatur County Riverside with a 4-3 win over Murfreesboro Central. Dixon County took a doubleheader from Montgomery Central 16-6 and 10-4. Eagleville defeated Decatur County Riverside 5-4. Christ Presbyterian Academy with an 11-7 win over Ensworth. Fairview defeated Waverly 8-1. It was Pope Prep 6, Father Ryan 4. East Robertson with a 7-2 win over Franklin Simpson of Kentucky. Clarksville Academy blanked Friendship Christian 8-0. It was Good Pasture 10, Davidson Academy 1. Green Hill with a 6-5 win over Liberty Creek. Siegel edged Independence 4-3. Lipscomb doubled up Ravenwood 20-10. Centennial with a 5-4 win over Montgomery Bell Academy. Middle Tennessee Christian 4, Webb School 2. Eagleville with a 4-1 win over Murfreesboro Central. Rossview defeated Portland 15-3. Rockvale down Tullahoma 9-1. And Upperman with a 2-0 win over Watertown.
Softball action. Brentwood doubling up John Overton 4-2 as Davidson Academy 15-0 winners over Franklin Road Academy. DCA the same score against Webb School, and BGA 11-0 over Ezo Harding. It was Forest 5, Riverdale 4, Good Pasture 15-0 over Mount Juliet Christian. Nashville Christian downs Grace Franklin 7-1. Clarksville Academy gets a 10-6 win over Middle Tennessee Christian. It was Lipscomb Academy 20, Murfreesboro Central 13, Rockville 19-0 over White County, and Stewart's Creek 15-0 over Laverne. Zion Christian down Riverside Christian 14-2. On Saturday, Camden Central takes a pair from Columbia Central 5-2 and 13-5. Rockville was a 5-4 winner over Blackman. Station Camp 4-2 over Springfield. Saudi Daisy 4, Station Camp 1, and Station Camp 11. East Robertson 1.
Boys soccer action over the weekend. Beach defeated Gallatin 5-1. Columbia Academy with a 3-2 win over Lawrence County. Loretto blanked Decatur County Riverside 3-0. Station Camp with a 3-1 win over Hendersonville. University School of Nashville and Providence Christian played to a 2-2 draw. Those were all Friday night results. On Saturday, Hume Fogg defeated Giles County 5-3. Giles County with a 5-4 win over Hillsboro. And Oakland down Columbia Central 3-1. In girls flag football tournament action Sunday at Ravenwood, Independence defeated Nolensville 13-7 in a play-in matchup. Quarterfinal action, Summit defeated Page 19-12. Independence knocked off top seed Franklin 13-12 in double overtime. Ravenwood with a 56-0 win over Brentwood. Fairview defeated Centennial 21-12. In the semis, Summit defeated Independence 32-19 and Ravenwood edged Fairview 20-13, setting up a championship game in which Ravenwood defeated Summit 20-6, second straight WCS GFF championship for the Raptors and Will Hester.
Not without some controversy in that one. So maybe we should talk.
It depends on your definition.
I don't think it was very I don't think it was very controversial until coaches getting thrown out in girls flag football is not what you want to see. But college baseball action, Tennessee with a 12-8 win over Mississippi State on Friday, and then closed out the series in 7 innings on Saturday with a 13-2 win. I don't know what happened to my other score. Vanderbilt sweeps Kentucky 6-4, 9-3, and 3-2. Florida Gulf Coast the same to Austin Peay 12-2, 12-7, and 6-5. Belmont takes game 1 against Murray State 7-5, but falls in games 2 and 3, 11-9, and 10-1. Lipscomb takes 2 of 3 from Eastern Kentucky, 8-4 in 10 innings, 7-5 in 10 innings, but the one-run game did not go extra innings. And it was 11-10 in game 3, so go figure. La Tech with a pair of wins over Middle Tennessee State, 18-8 and 3-1 in games 1 and 3. Middle Tennessee State did get the 12-8 win in game 2. Trevecca takes 3 of 4 from Ohio Dominican, 12-9, 6-2, and 8-3 before falling 15-14. Cumberland advances to the Mid-South Conference bracket play of the tournament with a pair of wins over Shawnee State, 18-4 and 20-1. Pikeville ends the UT Southern Firehawks season with a 13-5 win in game 1. UT Southern bounced back to get a 6-5 win in game 2 to force a deciding game 3 that Pikeville took 11-10 on Sunday down in Pulaski. Walter State takes 3 from Columbia State, 21-7, 16-13, and 6-1. Motlow takes 2 from Vol State, 4-3 and 6-4. Vol State got an 8-3 win in game 2.
Oh, it's to me. College softball action. Tennessee defeated Arkansas 3-1. Arkansas returned the favor with a 6-4 victory. Liberty swept Austin Peay 6-3, 11-7, and 11-2. Belmont got the first game against Drake 2-1 before Drake took the final 2, 9-4 and 8-4. Middle Tennessee State swept Texas San Antonio 3-2, 5-0, and 3-1. Lipscomb swept Eastern Kentucky 7-0, 4-1, and 8-6. Tennessee Tech defeated Tennessee State 7-1 before the Lady Tigers bounced back for a 7-1 and a 15-10 victory. Georgetown College took 2 of 3 from Cumberland, 4-0 and 9-0 before Cumberland won the finale 4-3. Shawnee State took 2 of 3 from UT Southern, 12-2 and 4-1 before the Firehawks came back for a 7-2 victory. In junior college softball action, Walter State swept 4 from Columbia State, 9-0, 11-5, 15-1, and 9-0. 3 of those were in 5 innings. Motlow State takes the opener against Vol State 6-3 before the Lady Pioneers win 7-2, 15-2, and 18-6.
Vol State took that game 1 personally.
Yeah, exactly. Pulled a Michael Jordan there. Yeah.
Major League Baseball action. On Friday, the Braves defeated the Mets in 5 innings, 4-0. The Brewers over the weekend took 2 of 3 from the Angels, 2-1 and 7-5. Angels win 3-0 on Sunday. The Reds the same with the Athletics, 11-7 and 3-2 in games 1 and 2. Athletics 5-4 winners over the Reds. The Dodgers sweep the Cardinals 7-3, 1-0, and 6-3. And in minor league action, the Sounds 4, Omaha 3 on Friday, 6-5. Sounds win on Saturday, but the Storm Chasers get the 10-6 win on Family Fun Day on Sunday and Main Street Media Day. NBA playoffs, the Lakers 125, the Grizzlies 85. LA wins at 4-2. And in MLS play, Nashville with 3 goals against Atlanta United at Geodis Park. Big win over the United there for Nashville Soccer Club.
And you said they couldn't score.
Apparently they found a way.
Yeah. Baseball today, 4:00 start. Doubleheader action at Beach as they take on visiting Dixon County. Also at 4:00, Stratford is at Hillsborough. 5:00 starts for Antioch at Cascade. Riverdale hosting Centennial. At 6, Mount Juliet is at Clarksville Northeast. White House goes to East Robertson. Hunters Lane is at Gallatin. Green Hill is hosting Lebanon. White House Heritage goes to Joe Burns. And Nolansville hosts Tullahoma. Independence travels to Oakland. Columbia Central plays at Page. Murfreesboro Central is at Shelbyville. Station Camp hosting Upperman. Overton goes to Stewart's Creek. Siegel is at Summit. West Creek hosts Kenwood. Liberty Creek is at Westmoreland. Cookville goes to Wilson Central. At 6:30, Harpeth is at Clarksville Northwest. Hendersonville goes to Rossview. Smyrna visits Spring Hill. And at 7, Sycamore takes on host Creekwood. No specified times for Eagleville at Forest or Richland at Marshall County. In District 10 2A tournament play, Mount Pleasant is at Summertown. That's a 6:30 start there. In D2A District 3, Battleground Academy goes to Grace Christian of Franklin, and University School of Nashville is at Middle Tennessee Christian. No times for either of those. At 4:30 in Division 2A District 4, Clarksville Academy is at Good Pasture.
That Upperman Station Camp game can be seen on Upper Cumberland Reporter Channel 2. Just FYI, if you're wanting to watch it and you're not able to get to it. Softball action today at 4:30. Brentwood's at Christ Presbyterian. Cane Ridge is at McGavick. St. Cecilia hosting Harpeth Hall at 5 o'clock. Westmoreland goes to Gallatin. Portland's at Joe Burns, and Fairview's at John Overton. Lebanon hosting Springfield, and Mount Pleasant's at home against Giles County. Summit goes to Oakland. Station Camp hosting Hunters Lane. Upperman's at Watertown, and Lawrence County's at Wayne County. At 5:30 is Ravenwood at Centennial. East Robertson hosting West Creek. Zion Christian at Fayetteville. Summertown at Forest. Hendersonville hosting Beach. Martin Luther King's at Murfreesboro Central Magnet. Community is at Richland at 5:45. Loretto welcomes Marshall County. At 6 o'clock is Laverne at Blackman. Smyrna at Stewart's Creek. Greenbriers at Wilson Central. And at 7, Columbia Central will be at Shelbyville. In the D2A Middle Region Tournament, Davidson Academy will be at Columbia Academy at 2 o'clock just moments ago. Donaldson Christians at Battleground Academy. Ezo Hardings at Middle Tennessee Christian. Mount Juliet Christians at Webb School. Clarksville Academies at Good Pasture. Nashville Christians at Friendship Christian. No times on any of those final few games there.
Boys soccer action. The Middle Tennessee Fire goes to Davidson Academy for a 5 o'clock first touch. Also at 5, Donaldson Christian is at Franklin Christian. 5:30, Richland travels to Loretto. At 6, Culleoka hosts McEwen. Gallatin hosts Portland. Independence hosts Page. Ezel Harding goes to Westmoreland. No time for Webb School at University School of Nashville. In girls flag football action, the Montgomery County Championship is at 6 tonight at Forterra Stadium on the campus of Austin Peay University as West Creek takes on Montgomery Central. And if you want to hear more about that, go check out our Thursday Coaches Corner where we had Clarksville Montgomery County Athletics Director Johnny Miller on with us. College softball tonight, Tennessee at Vietnam, as they call it, the season finale, the series finale against Arkansas. 6 o'clock start on SEC Network. And Major League Baseball, as we told you, the Braves and Mets are in game 1 of a doubleheader and apparently just took extended their lead to 9-5 on Sean Murphy's second home run of the day.
I was waiting to see if you had seen it yet.
Yes, I'm just seeing it in the replay. So again, the Braves are up 9-5 in the top of the 7th, and game 2 will follow at 8:40. The Reds will travel to San Diego to take on the Ryan Weatherless Padres. And let's see. That is your rundown.
We made it. Here we go. Real quick, top story. Former Vanderbilt associate head coach Carolyn Peck was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Probably not necessarily directly tied to her time at Vanderbilt, but more so her national championship. But it was certainly part of it. And,
her Vanderbilt time was certainly part of it, as you said, but that national title at Purdue is probably a bigger part of it. The first African American to win an NCAA, to coach an NCAA Division I women's basketball team to a championship. And man, I'll tell you what, it just could not happen to a better, more deserving person. Chris, when you look at halls of fame and you see people inducted, and we've talked to Brad Willis about this, it's like they're not already in is so often the reaction. And that would have kind of been my reaction to Carolyn Peck. It's like, what the heck took so long? But better late than never. Congratulations to her.
No doubt.
Very deserving.
Absolutely deserving. So congrats. And it is warranted. And we wanted to make sure that we gave it here on Reaction Monday on Main Street Sports Today. We return to the Lee Company studio in just a moment as TERESA Walker joins us to talk about the NFL draft. So stick around here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mo Patton and Chris Yow with you here on this Reaction Monday. And boy, what a Reaction Monday it is going to be as the NFL draft closed up. Rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, and then the remainder of the draft on Saturday. And to talk about it, we bring in the one and only TERESA Walker of the Associated Press, joining us here on the Real Property Solutions Hotline. TERESA, how are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. Let's just put it this way. It's been a busy 3 weeks. I'm a little exhausted. So that's why I'm not on camera right now, joining you guys that way, just doing it by the old school voice. So interesting run, shall we say.
You know probably where every decent eatery is along I-40 between here and Memphis. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And as somebody who was recently diagnosed a few months ago as celiac, I'll just say this: Bedrock Cafe and Sweets, or Sweets and Cafe down in Memphis, a dedicated gluten-free place. Oh my! If you have that and you're down in Memphis, go. Their sweet and savory options are amazing. And yes, I made sure to have breakfast there each of the last 2 times before I traveled back to Nashville.
Well, good. It's good that you found something good and safe. So,
yes.
Yeah. What do we want to talk about, Chris? We want to talk about Titans. We want to talk about Grizzlies. We want to talk about both. Where are you going?
Let's start with Tennessee Titans, because obviously that's going to be less gut wrenching, and that's saying something. If I'm being honest. But you know,
I'll just say this. I had to mute a bunch of conversations on Twitter this weekend because, let's put it this way, people either loved or mostly hated what the Titans did this weekend. And, they took, this is the thing about Twitter. A lot of comments were taken out of context. It's like, Rand Carthon saying that, that they were playing their, board and rolling the dice. And, what that means is, they had, they've spent weeks and months, looking at people and stacking the talent on their board, taking best players available rather than trying to fill needs and reaching for players. That's how you end up with an Isaiah Wilson. It's like, well, we need an offensive lineman. Let's go get him. And that didn't work out so well, did it? Or a couple of years ago, it's like, we need a cornerback. Let's go get a Caleb Farley, and hopefully he gets healthy. Let's just put it that way. So here's the situation. Everybody, my colleague Rob Motti gave the Titans a B+. Peter Skolonsky,
I'm sorry, he gave them a what?
A B+.
B+.
For the draft. Okay. Yes, a B+. That's a B as in boy, not D as in dog.
Yeah, I got you.
For everybody who is literally dodging this draft class, I mean, yes, I had offensive line and skill position as the top needs that they had going into this draft. And in the second, their second round, they trade up 8 picks to take Will Levis, a guy that the Colts made pretty clear that if Anthony Richardson had not been available, they would have taken Will Levis. So the Titans got him at 33 instead of trading up from 11 to get a quarterback. Now, time will tell. And yes, I'm one of those who, yes, I noticed exactly how he played and struggled against Tennessee last year, how he lost to Vanderbilt last year. So did Anthony Richardson. So, but guess what? The Tennessee Titans have a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive line coach, a new passing game coordinator to help work with this offense. And right now, they still have Ryan Tannehill. So guess what? Maybe Ryan Tannehill plays this entire season and Will Levis doesn't get thrown into the mix. He gets to learn and, get up to speed and they can groom him to be the quarterback that they want. And then next year when they've got at least $88 million in cap space, and that's according to Spot Rack, which is 4th in the NFL for next year, as of this moment, then guess what? That gives them a chance to go fill more holes. And this is the AFC South, okay? So if you're expecting Colts and the Texans to suddenly make a leap over the Tennessee Titans, excuse me, what world are you living in? And the Jaguars, who look so great with Trevor Lawrence, they are going to have to play a first place schedule this next year. And the Titans, they got rid of a whole bunch of players who were injured this last couple of years. So maybe, asterisk, I thought that, certainly the injury bug couldn't hit them 2 years in a row, and I was proving to be completely wrong. But if they can stay kind of healthy this year, and having brought in more healthy guys, then guess what? Mike Vrabel has a track record of being competitive. I mean, they were 3 minutes away from winning a third straight division title, despite leading the NFL and players used last year, again, because of injuries. So I think when Mike Vrabel was saying on Saturday night, trust us, he's earned that trust based on what he's done in his 5 seasons. The 2 years that they didn't make it into the playoffs under Mike Vrabel, they were in competition for a playoff spot in their final game, only to be kind of, submarine torpedoed by quarterback injuries. And that's why they went and got Ryan Tannehill in March of 2019. And that's why they drafted Will Levis at number 33 on Friday night, a guy who, yes, he fell big time to 33, but it's because after four of the top 3 picks, three of the top 4 picks were quarterbacks. Nobody else needed a quarterback after that, and they were filling needs. The Titans were the next team that needed a quarterback and traded up to get him. And when you trade up, it's because somebody else was going to go get him. Now, I know there's a lot of Tennessee Vol fans that are mad, and I tell you, the people burning some jerseys and saying, I'm going to be a Lions fan. Oh, my Lord, have you looked at the Lions' history? I mean, you're suddenly going to become a Lions fan because they've got Hendon Hooker on their roster. You're probably the same people who followed Peyton Manning to Indianapolis. That worked out a lot better. He actually did win a Super Bowl at that franchise. So, please calm down.
First of all, what's wrong with that? Hold on.
Suddenly becoming a Lions fan because of one player?
No,
if you're shopping your fandom that much, then God bless you.
No, you kind of struck a nerve with the following Peyton to Indy.
First of all, I'm from Alabama. We didn't have a team. I didn't know. I didn't know it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't okay. Oh, Teresa's got me all messed up now. I'm gonna go cower in the corner. No, I'm kidding. You're right though. People are dumb. Look, we're not. Nobody that is an actual fan. If you're an actual fan, you're not going to be a fan of the Lions because of Hendon Hooker. Now, I understand the East Tennessee folks.
A guy who was on campus in Knoxville for 2 years.
Goofy. That's ridiculous. But yeah, it's what I think. I think my biggest question is this: if the Titans had drafted a wide receiver before the 7th round of this draft, would people be less upset?
Probably, but and here's the thing. I mean, the wide receiver room is a hot mess. I mean, we don't know, right? Treylon Burks, though, I think is poised to be healthy. He now knows exactly what it takes to perform at this level, and he showed at Arkansas what he could do when he was healthy. So, and he's going to have a whole offseason to learn. That offensive line, which was a hot patchwork, to call it patchwork would be kind at best because of the injuries and the mix and the match. And, Dylan Radins, who, one of the guys that helped get John Robinson fired, maybe they can get something out of him. But, 49 sacks, guys. They gave up 49 sacks last year. Ryan Tannehill showed the year before that, yes, he had A.J. Brown. I think Treylon Burks can be good this year. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he is a Pro Bowler eventually. But, having him and Chigaquankwo, really like Josh Wiley, yes, he's a tight end. But, guys, he's 6'7", and he was a wide receiver they converted to tight end because they told him, you know what, you go play tight end. We think you can be one of the best in the country. Ding, 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 and now he's in the NFL. So you've given them some help. And, that's going to be the interesting part of this, right? So I'm really curious to see where they go from here. And, Kyle Phillips should be, knock on wood, healthy, taller, stronger. He talked about adding weight.
Taller?
Hey, you add a few pounds, a little lift, but he now has an idea of how he needs to play in the NFL, what condition he needs to be to survive a season. Now, does it work? We'll see. But, and yes, NWI, the biggest person I'm going to look at, this roster is not set. If anything of the last 2 years has taught us, there are guys who are going to be cut. There are already guys being cut today. Okay. So all these people saying, well, trade and go get somebody. Guess what? You might be able to sign somebody to a deal because you simply have done it, right? Because they're being cut by somebody else. So this team is not set. There's going to be some post-June 1 cuts. So there's going to be final roster cuts at the end of the preseason. So calm down. And I'll say this: a better offensive line, giving the quarterback more time to throw and to look for people. And I do expect Chigaquankwo to make another huge jump as well as a tight end. And he's going to have Josh Wiley opposite him instead of Austin Hooper, which, I know he had 44 catches last year, but, let's face it, he seemed missing in action and he was available the whole year. So I'm just going to say, improving the line will give them a chance to make a bigger jump on offense. They were fourth fewest, or only 4 teams scored fewer points than the Tennessee Titans last year. This defense, They tied fourth, 13th in fewest points allowed, number 1 in the rush. You've got Jeffrey Simmons back, Harold Landry's coming back. Defense is going to be fine with the changes they made at linebacker on the inside to go for guys who are healthy. So it's like, calm down. And, I know that nobody wants to be calm right now but it's so wild. You can't win the Super Bowl in April. But between now and December, people are going to want the teams to get the number 1 pick overall. So they can go get Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. next. But guess what? There's a whole season to be played. And look at the weekend. Last night, Boston Bruins posted the best season in NHL history, and they're done in the first round. Getting in the playoffs is all that matters, and being as healthy as you can when you get there. And, this team has proven that they can be competitive, and that's what you want.
Okay. Look, the AFC South is certainly winnable no matter what. I mean, this is the worst Titans team we've seen in a long time at a lot of different positions, wide receiver, offensive line, and still we're within 1 win of 1 game of winning the darn division last year. So let's all calm down.
3 minutes away.
They were 3 minutes away, and if he call it best, ends their season. So let's remember that, the Jaguars aren't exactly, the Chiefs. So there's that.
The Chiefs who the Titans almost beat at Arrowhead with Malik Willis.
Right. So, I mean, look, I'm certainly not of the sky's falling variety in the Titans fandom. I think Will Levis is not a terrible pick. I think moving up to get him was iffy at best, but that's neither here nor there. But like I told him,
a couple of draft picks, and they gave up one a later pick next year.
Yeah, but we don't have it now. We don't have a 3rd round pick next year. We don't have
they didn't have a 4th round pick this year.
Yeah, it's so
because of the Julio Jones trade, they're going to have a ton of money to spend next year in free agency, though. So guess what? It'll be okay.
Is that why Ryan Tannehill is not going to get cut? Because they're going to have plenty of money next year.
Well, hey, we still don't know what they're going to be doing, okay? I mean, Rand Carthon a week ago admitted that, yes, they did ask Kevin Byard to take a pay cut, and Kevin, like I would, said no. So there's a whole lot of stuff that, we're still waiting to see, right? But that's the thing. It is May 1st. This roster is not set. So, nothing is set at this point. So, I mean, shoot. Maybe Will Levis is the starter when they open the season. Maybe it's Ryan Tannehill with number 22 behind him. And, so just calm down. Shoot, get excited for the schedule. It's going to be announced a week from Thursday.
Teresa Walker of the Associated Press joining us here on the Real Property Solutions Hotline on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Shall we shift gears, Chris?
We certainly can. I mean that the draft obviously has a gazillion questions, and we can take each one of them day by day from now until
Training
August.
camp.
So
Yeah.
let's
Well, we got a lot of time.
we've got time.
But who doesn't have time is the Memphis Grizzlies, who ran out of it over the weekend in a 125-85 loss to the Lakers at FedEx Forum. And Teresa, I mean, for teams that were good in the West and wanted all the smoke, they went out not with a bang but a whimper. Tough way to end the season.
Oh, absolutely. But, again, Boston Bruins had the best season in the NHL, out in 7 games in overtime in the first round. Milwaukee Bucks were the number 1 seed in the East, and they're out in the first round. Now, when Ja's made those comments about he didn't worry about anybody in the West, when he said that? Way back in December. Before everybody literally came west at the trade deadline, okay? Before Dylan Brooks opened his mouth and said, sure, I want the Lakers, and I poke bears. I'll just say this: the consensus in Memphis, no matter how good a defender Dylan Brooks is, he's a free agent this summer. I think people in Memphis are ready to say bye-bye to Dylan Brooks.
Been ready.
Yes, and now, and Ja Morant. Both Friday night after the loss, and guess what? Yes, it was the Lakers found a way to put up 40 on Dylan Brooks, and it was the worst loss in playoff history for this franchise. I mean, 40-point loss, dog. They lost 3 of the 4 games to the Lakers by double digits. So, only one of them went to overtime, a game that they absolutely had a chance, and because they could not rebound late in regulation, they couldn't finish it off. Ended up losing in overtime because LeBron said, okay, I'm not losing this game, and took over. So this was the second youngest team in the NBA this season, and they still finished second in the West for a second straight year. Ja Morant talked Friday night, Sunday, when they did their kind of clean out interviews, and he made it clear that he understands that he was a distraction to this team and that he has to be better on and off the court. So that will, nobody wants to see the Washington Post writing about you not once but twice. And just for the record, stories that local folks had written about and knew weeks before the Washington Post suddenly found them on a sealed lawsuit that was leaked to the Washington Post. But the fact of the matter is he gets it. Now, his parents and family, they all need to get it as well. And Desmond Bain, this is a kid who's up for, he's going into his 4th year. They need to find a way to keep him. Because, between him, Luke Kennard, who led the NBA, 49.4% three-point shooting, go out and add a veteran, get maybe 2 veterans to help them grow up a bit more. But as Taylor Jenkins made very, very clear yesterday, the time for talking is over. They've got to walk the walk. And if that's the biggest lesson that they've learned, then it's all worth it.
Stop talking, start walking.
Let me ask you this, Teresa, and you may not have an answer, but could you tell how well Dylan Brooks's bear poking went over in the locker room? Was there any kind of backlash in the locker room to that?
Well, let's put it this way: it couldn't tell in the locker room. Dylan is one of the last guys to get dressed and talk to the media when he talks. And he was out there before they opened the locker room to media on Friday night after that series ended. And then he talked yesterday. It's funny. At one point, he was happy to poke bears. That's how he does it. Then it was the media's fault and the fans that they're making up this story. And then Sunday, he's like, well, I talked to essentially get myself motivated. Let's just put it this way. It felt like there was a very mixed reaction during Game 5 when he came into the game. And people noticed that they were up 3 points when he went to the bench, and then they went on their big run when they went to small ball. So, this team getting Steven Adams back and Brandon Clark back, and finding somebody to help with replace the defense that Dylan Brooks brings. That may be what this team needs to do this offseason. They like Dylan. I mean, if you follow this team on social media, he's the guy leading them, the fun dances and stuff they do on video before every game. They have all sorts of fun stuff. Guess what? That's something that will continue because the core of this team, John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., those are the three that they're building around, and that's their future. So let's put it this way. The GM didn't really want to talk about Dylan Brooks yesterday. I'm not going to be surprised if he's not somewhere else next year.
I don't think anybody will be. I would be far more surprised if he were back, but that's, neither here nor there. This is a team that, again, we talked about it last year. There needs to be some veteran presence on this team that is an on-court leader, and obviously they thought they had that. I think Steven Adams can be that guy, and I think that a lot of these young players are growing into that. Is that something that the Grizzlies need to look at this offseason, or do they feel like this is a team that is becoming a veteran-led team just through time?
Well, let's face it, the experience that Jaren, Ja, and Desmond have gotten are huge, right? Mm-hmm. Huge. So there has been an element of that. But, a year ago, they didn't have a single player over the age of 30 make a bucket for them. Steven Adams, they love him, but, he got hurt at the end of January and never came back. So it does feel like they're going to need to add a veteran, at least one, maybe two. They did sign Tyus Jones, brought him back. And, he's a veteran, but let's face it, Steven Adams with 9 years of experience was the oldest guy on their roster this season. So, they can go out and add somebody. And, it looked like maybe it was going to be Danny Green, and then they traded him away in a three-way deal at the deadline to get Luke Kennard, who, oh, by the way, 49.4% shooter. And they keep encouraging him to shoot more. And, he's the guy who hit 10 of 11, back in late March. So they believe a lot in this young man, but, they do need they need some more experience. They need somebody who's got the wherewithal, the resume, so to speak, the scalps on the wall, whatever you want to call it, who could, when he speaks, this is going to be led by that trio that I mentioned. They're growing this team with those three. The contracts, et cetera. Bane's going to be the next one to get a big deal. The owner's made it clear he'll spend what it takes to build the team, but they need somebody who can speak up at a moment and maybe tamp somebody down before they poke a bear.
Say that to the mirror, Dylan, not to the media. If you need to psych yourself up, say that stuff to the mirror, not the media. That's all I'm saying. I don't have time to be listening to you poking bears named LeBron James. I mean, geez. And this in NBA playoffs, the Western Conference particularly, now that the Miami Heat have certainly thrown the wrench into the chili pot, it's about to get wild. It's going to be one of the best. This Lakers Warriors series is going to be phenomenal. After a 50-point output from Steph last night to get them there, this is shaping up to be one of the more fun, at least the Western Conference. Like I said, the Eastern Conference, who knows? I guess now it's almost a crapshoot at this point.
Well, absolutely. I mean, with the Bucks out of the way, and the Heat going into New York and winning game one. And, now we got to watch Jimmy Butler's ankle and see how that is. But, in the West, I mean, let's face it, LeBron and AD against Steph and, Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers, the defending NBA champs, going at it now in the second round. And honestly, I mean, you wanted to see motivation on a court Friday night. That was LeBron and AD not wanting to get back on a plane and go to Memphis. Okay. They wanted to be able to rest a day or two and take advantage, knowing that the Warriors were going to be playing a Game 7 to try to get some of that extra rest. So they need it, because I can't tell you how many times AD went down and was either holding a heating pack or an ice bag or whatever. And LeBron, he's not what he was, but boy, he can still take over games. And sure, Seth showed us that he could yesterday too. 50 in a Game 7? Are you kidding me? So looking forward to seeing what they put together here in this series. Although, guys, I'm going to leave it to most of the rest of y'all. I'm at that point of the year where I need a little bit of a break from sports.
Hey, and this is a good time for that. I mean, you've got some time.
Predators are out. Grizzlies are out.
Sure.
Rookie camp is next week.
You can watch everything at your leisure without having to worry too much, at least for the next week or two. That's got to feel good.
Yes, I'm going to try to rest up. I need it, because have you seen what July is, or June and July is? I mean, NASCAR, and then we've got the NHL draft, awards, and then, SEC media days after I come back from vacation. I really don't need all that.
And then right after SEC media days, you have the Music City Grand Prix.
And tell me about it during NFL draft or training camp. And for all my friends in the media who keep looking at the numbers from Kansas City saying, bring the draft back to Nashville, hush your mouth.
We don't have to have it. It's okay. Y'all can have it in Detroit next year. Detroit next year will be fun. It'll be. The weather will be very nice in Detroit next year. So
you'll be all indoors, I bet. I'm not going. I'll be here in Nashville.
Well, TERESA, as always, great stuff, and we appreciate you taking some time with us today. We kept you a little long, and you were gracious enough to do that for us, so we appreciate it, and we look forward to letting you rest. So take your time, and come back refreshed and with more knowledge next time.
Sounds good, and appreciate it. And we ran long because, let's face it, I can't shut up.
Well, there was plenty to talk about, though. Too,
we had 2 topics this time, so we had to try to squish it all in. So you did great, as always, and that's why you have the crown next to your Twitter handle.
Yeah, she does not have the blue check,
it to
but
myself,
she does have the
baby.
crown. Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
You didn't.
I know how to take my crown, baby.
Go out there and take what you want, and you can do that anytime you want, TERESA. We appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys. Appreciate you.
Mo, speaking of taking what you want, you can take what you want and leave what you don't when you call Real Property Solutions, 615-527-8750. Yeah, how about that?
Mm-hmm. How about that?
Give them a call. They'll close on your timeline 7 days or 70, whatever's best for you. We're going to take a break. Come back. We will talk about I'm heated, Mo. I'm heated. But we'll talk about this Jeff McNeil slide on the other side of a break. Stick around. Main Street Sports Today comes back to the Lee Company studio in just a moment.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
There is nothing better than drinking an ice-cold beverage while taking in a Nashville Sounds baseball game. Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller with Mornings on Main Street. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television have teamed up to promote Sunday Family Fun Day here at First Horizon Park, each Sunday home game. Just go to your favorite Main Street Media website and click on Sounds Main Street Media Day banner to register to win free tickets. And then we'll see you here at the ballpark.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start to see them sticking their head out of the pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. It's animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bar 2.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports. Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here with you on this beautiful, beautiful Monday. What a fantastic day. It's a little deceptive though, because it is chilly out there, Mo.
Yeah, I was out earlier today, and it's not as warm as it looks, but it's not bad. And again, at least it's not raining and hailing, so that's a good thing.
There's that. Yesterday was tough. We were out at the Sounds game. Stephanie Miller and I hosted Mornings on Main Street. We're out there handing out cards and stickers, and every single person I saw with the Titans gear on, I gave them a Ran Has a Plan sticker. I only have like 10 left. So there were plenty of folks who were sporting the T, the flaming T, as they say. So
the sticker.
I was a little surprised. By the number of people who were still supporting the Titans yesterday based off of what I saw on Twitter. So I thought everybody was burning stuff and leaving to go be fans of the Colts or something. I don't know. So anyway, oh man. Well, the Braves played just 5 of their scheduled 27 innings this weekend and got a legal game in on Friday with a 4-0 win in Max Fried's start. Big weekend of rest for the bullpen, and got especially for a team that was scheduled to play 17 straight days.
You know what though? It's a big weekend of rest for the pitching staff and for the bullpen, but you know what else it was? It was a big weekend for the offense because they were able to dodge Max Scherzer, who was supposed to come back from a 10-game suspension and pitch this game today.
Oh, that's right. But he had to serve an extra day. But it
was 10 games. They hadn't played 10 games.
Right. Yeah. That's wild. I didn't even think about that. That's amazing. Oh, well, let's get into this. The Braves win on Friday and are currently leading 9-7 in the bottom of the ninth with AJ Minter on the bump. The reason it's 9-7 though is due to an error from Vaughn Grissom, with the bases loaded on this double play attempt here, he catches the baseball, slides across second base, and Jeff McNeil slides into center field, going after him, causing Vaughn to have to step to his left and throw off balance. And the 1 run would have scored. There's no doubt. I mean, the bases were loaded. They were trying to get the 2 outs instead of the 1, and 1 run was going to score. But it did this cost the Braves a run. And I'm just here to tell you, that's dirty.
That's a double play.
That's obstruction.
That's a double play because he can't reach second base from where he is.
Not even close. He couldn't reach it if he was Stretch Armstrong.
And so if he can't reach second base from where he slides,
it should be out automatic. Ring him up. It's ridiculous. And
I ain't never liked that guy. No way.
No, I'm not a big Jeff McNeil fan, but the coaching staff decides not to even challenge it. Have the ability to challenge it, couldn't challenge it, or didn't challenge it. And that may be a bigger upset than what McNeil did.
Well,
what are we doing?
Well, it's Monday. It's too early in the week for me to get off on a bad start. I was already hot from some stuff from over the weekend, but don't get me started on Snitker. At least not until they somehow figure out a way to lose this ball game here. But yeah, there should have been something said or something done. I mean, I don't know if it's not challengeable, or I don't know why it wouldn't be.
It's definitely challengeable.
Well, if it could be challenged, it should have been challenged, because like you said, it costs you a run. And again, by rule, if the base runner can't reach the base on his slide, then that's an out. That's obstruction, like you said. And there's no way he did not slide to the bag.
Sorry, it's interference, not obstruction. I always get the two confused. But
yeah, obstruction is on the defense. My bad. You're right.
Well, I said it, so
but I repeated it. I should have known better. Should have known better than to listen to you. Yeah.
There you go. I'm a little frustrated by this team sometimes, because it just feels like, and it feels like the coaching staff is sleepwalking. I mean, at least there's this. At least Marcell Ozuna has not been in the lineup for the last week. Now, he'll probably be in game 2 today, if I had to guess. But
is it a lefty going for the Mets in game 2?
I don't know, but I can tell you this. If Sean Murphy's not the designated hitter in game 2, I don't know what we're doing.
You mean after hitting 2 home runs in game 1?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd run him out.
We might get saved because Tyler McGill is the scheduled starter for game 2, and he's right-handed. He throws with his right hand. So we may be okay.
Yeah, McGill and Morton in game 2. You're right. Am I the only one who thought we were playing 7-inning games today?
I think they got rid of that with some other stuff. What's up, bro?
Nothing. You'll see in a second.
You got company coming?
AJ Minter just gave up a solo homer. So there's that.
Actually,
9-8 now.
We might be back on sync. He gave up a 2-run solo homer. I mean, a 2-out solo homer.
Yes, a 2-out solo homer. That's correct.
Yeah. So at least there's 2 outs.
It struck out first 2 guys. Gives up a homer to that guy. And now is it Beatty up? Beatty, who already has 1 homer today.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, Atlanta has an opportunity right here to really put some distance between themselves and New York with a win here. And that would give the Braves a 4-game edge. Obviously, they'll play another one tonight, which would be huge to get that win. And then they'll play another doubleheader in August when Atlanta goes back to New York. So
yeah, to make up for the Saturday game that got rained out.
Correct. And that's
these 2 games officially are a make up for yesterday. So
4-game lead now for the Atlanta Braves in the National League East over the Metropolitans of New York City.
Okay, so we're not in sync. I just
No.
saw the out.
Just a little bit, but that's okay. Big game tonight, and Atlanta offensively is really hitting the ball well right now. Obviously, 9 runs today on 9 hits, 4 runs on Friday
in 5 innings.
But Austin Riley, who had a 4 strikeout, I think he had 4 or 5 on Thursday against the Marlins.
He was
Goes 0 for 5 today. Yeah, rolled over a couple outside pitches, just trying to pull everything. He's struggling right now, and
but you know what? He's struggling right now, but Acuna is still red hot. You know, Olsen hit the 3-run home run on Friday night to really break that one open. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about the fact that Austin Riley is struggling right now, because at some point he's going to go on a stretch where he carries his team.
And that's
with some of the guys that are rolling right now, you can get by with Austin struggling a little bit. So
I'll agree. I would like to move him to the 5 hole, but I'm not sure who you move up at this point, because Ozzie was 0 for 4. Rosario was your DH today, 0 for 3.
I think eventually, once Michael Harris gets back and gets his feet on the ground, he's probably going to be your number 2.
Do you think? And I don't disagree that he should be, but do you think he will be? Because boy, Snicker really likes putting that guy at 9.
I think Snitker is going to have to, again, because if Riley continues to struggle, you've got to do something at the top. Otherwise, you run the risk of wasting Acuna up there, who did homer today, his 5th, but he's not been driving the ball out of the park a whole lot. But he has been getting on base a whole lot.
He's getting on base a ton. I mean, had 2 extra base hits today with the double in the 7th.
3 runs.
Scored 3 times. I mean, for me, it's Acuna, then Harris, then Olsen, then Murphy, then Riley, and you can go wherever you want to after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ozzie's going to be one of those guys that's going to carry the bottom half of that lineup for a half a year. Pilar /
Rosario.
Well, I was thinking more
Pilar Hilliard.
Hilliard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hilliard's been hitting the ball well as well. So,
well, I mean, you could go with some combination of Rosario, Pilar, Hilliard in left and DH, and don't forget, you're going to get
d'Arnaud.
You're going to get d'Arnaud back pretty soon, I would think.
It's too bad we didn't get him back in New York, because he loves playing there. He likes playing there about as much as Chipper did.
But you did get Kevin Pillar, who hit a home run early against his former team.
You'll take that. Only 5 innings out of Spencer Strider today. Did not have his best stuff, Mo.
Hey, that's not an only, considering he was at 70-something pitches through 2 1/3.
No, absolutely. But for a guy who didn't have his best stuff, to get you 5 innings, to earn the win, to go out there in the 5th inning with, I think he had 89 pitches at that point.
Mm-hmm.
To go back out
with 107.
There, finished with 107, 8 strikeouts on a day that I promise you, he did not have his best stuff. He hung 2 sliders that were crushed.
Yes. Alonso got one of them.
Alonso got one for the home run, but Nemo's double to lead off, triple, I'm sorry, to lead off the game was also a hanging slider. So Strider is the guy for this team who you can count on. I mean, it's just like, I think it might have been Frenchie who said it. He said, I want to go out there for one more inning. And when you go out there and do what he did, 3 up, 3 down, in an inning like that, get a strikeout on the last hitter, you earn the ability to say, I
want to go
one.
back out there. Yeah.
Yeah. You can use your Vince Carter. I got one more in me. and your coaching staff will agree with you. I mean, again, you said it when you texted me early, get a 3-run lead and Strider's all over the place. But once he settles in, he really is one of the best pitchers in the game, if not the best pitcher right now.
The tough thing about today is that they had to go 4 deep into the bullpen behind him. 1, 2, 3,
5.
Yeah. 5 deep. My bad. I can't count. Yeah. Lee, McHugh, Chavez, Anderson, and Mentor. And so you kind of wonder where that leaves you for the second half of this doubleheader, which, like you said, is a 9-inning game, behind Charlie Morton.
You probably feel like Chavez can go again. He only threw 9 pitches. You could probably throw Anderson back out there, who only threw 12. I don't think you can go with Lee or McHugh, who had 19 and 22, and Mentor I don't think can go back out there either at 17.
Right.
So I would venture to say Chavez and Anderson are available if necessary. But I think Charlie needs to get through 6 in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even
and
sure.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful because you go to Miami tomorrow.
Well,
so you can't burn too many guys.
No, you really need to have you really want to have an opportunity to feel like you're confident going down there. Now, you've got in the bullpen, Jimenez is in the bullpen. I guess is Tonkin still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tonkin didn't throw.
And Kirby Yates. Don't love that. I mean, who do you throw out there in the 9th if you've got a Nick Anderson? Anderson has a save on the year.
That's a heck of a question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who I throw out there in the 9th. I know Snitker probably runs Yates out there in the 9th, though.
Well, he has closer experience. He's
all experience ain't good experience, but
he's not been great. Yeah, I mean, there's that. I don't know. I hate doubleheaders for this reason. And it's even worse when game 1 is a 9-8 game. But you know what? The Mets also threw a bunch of folks today too.
That is true.
They didn't even get 3. They didn't even get 2 innings. 2 innings. They didn't get 2 innings out of their starter. So
1+.
They're going to be in the same boat, if not a worse boat, in game 2.
Well, they only threw 4 guys out of the pen, though.
Yeah, but they have nobody long relief options. Mm-hmm. So if you hit McGill, they got to stick with him.
He just got to wear it.
Yep, he's going.
Sounds like a pretty good plan.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's jump on him early and force him to make a decision. So
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
19-9, the Braves. Who'd have thunk it?
With everything they've dealt with.
Yep, right. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Braves 19-9. Don't feel like that's what you would have expected from this club with all of the injuries they've had to deal with. So kudos to this team and to these players who have stepped up when necessary. So, all right, we'll get back to it here in just a moment. But before we do, we need to go to the time machine.
There we go.
Where Mo Patton will tell us what happened long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It wasn't that long ago. May 1st, 2000. Quilvio Veras, remember him? Homered in the 3rd inning and scored on a base hit by the big cat Andres Galarraga in the 8th. As the Braves won 2-1 over the host Dodgers to set a modern franchise record with their 14th straight victory. The all-time club record of 18 straight was established by the 1891 Boston Bean Eaters. Remember them? That was this day in Braves history.
I do, in fact, remember the Bean Eaters. That's one of my favorite follows on Twitter, by the way, Bean Eater Buzz.
Oh yeah, he's good.
He's hilarious, and always has some good statisticals as well. So, all right, we'll take a break. When we come back, more reaction from over the weekend. We need to run down who the Titans drafted. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've all seen it, but we need to do it on this show because, well, we just need to do it on this show. So we'll do that, and we'll talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup playoffs as well on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Come back to the Lee Company studio with us after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here with you. Mo, you were at the girls flag football tournament championships yesterday. How'd it go in year two for Williamson County?
Well, I thought it went well. I mean, I was not at year one because I was on a boat, as you mentioned earlier in the show, but there were comments made at the conclusion of the tournament that the level of play has improved. And like I said, I wasn't,
kind of expected, right?
Yeah, you would think. But I was talking to friend of the show Charles Pulliam during the tournament yesterday, and the one thing I've noticed was that there have been a lot more running plays than I would have anticipated. It's not been as pass oriented as you would think flag football might be. But I really enjoyed the competitive level. I really enjoyed watching those young ladies get out there. A lot of them that their primary sports are other sports and really, you know, play well on the gridiron. I was impressed. I think it was very enjoyable to watch, and I think it's just going to continue to pick up momentum. Like John Miller said when we spoke to him on Coach's Corner last week, the Clarksville Montgomery County school systems athletics director, as he talked about their first year up there. Again, they've got their championship this evening over at Forterra Stadium over at Austin P. I just think you're going to see it continue to pick up and catch on, and folks are going to continue to enjoy it. And, you know, for these young ladies to have the opportunity to be the standard bearers, I guess, being the first is really kind of cool. Emily Crowell with the TSSAA was out at Ravenwood yesterday and spoke for a few minutes and spoke to that effect that they are the ones that are establishing this sport. And when you look back here in another 5 years, 10 years, whatever, when it is a sanctioned sport by the TSSAA, these young ladies are going to be able to say that they were the ones kind of on the front line toward getting that accomplished. And it's fun to watch. I mean, if you've not been, then you've missed out. But they'll be playing again next year. Go check it out.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Also, over the weekend was the NFL draft. So, Justin, you've got a graphic so we don't miss anybody. Let's see the 6 players drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Peter Skoronski in number 1 spot. We've already talked about that, Mo. Feel really good about that pick. Feel really happy the Bears took Darnell Wright, because otherwise the Titans would have taken Will Levis at 11. I'm becoming more and more convinced of that. Still got Will Levis, but went to get him in the 2nd round before the Rams could snatch him up. And
that would have been a bad thing. Why?
I'm telling you, man, the more and more I watch, the more I'm just, and again, it's probably just me telling myself he's the next Josh Allen. But
I'm just telling you, when I find myself in agreement with Colin Cowherd, it's a very uncomfortable place to be. And Cowherd had a nice rant regarding Levis that I just found myself nodding along to.
Well, and Levis does bring a certain level of cocky with him, and sometimes how many times have we heard it? It ain't bragging if it's true.
Is it?
But we haven't seen you back it up yet. So
and
don't go Dylan Brooks in this.
I threw his stat line from last fall against UT out there. 16 of 27 for 98 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks, 4 sacks. And everybody wants to trash me because it's just one game. You can't judge a guy on one game. No, you're right. I can't judge a guy on one game. What I can judge a guy on is his decision-making against a team whose secondary was supposed to be the reason Kentucky won that game. And instead they got beat 44-6.
And this is why I went back and watched 2021 film. It's why I went back and watched film with him.
Okay, so we're going to give this guy a pass on improving.
Well, I'm giving him a pass on a very much worse offensive line in 2022. I mean, if we're giving Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis a pass for the offensive line woes of the Titans, I think we have to give Will Levis the benefit of the doubt, because he was playing behind a terrible offensive line last year. that being said, you go back and you watch his decision making in 2021, and it's not terrible. He's obviously, I think he does a really poor job of filling pressure. He doesn't have great pocket awareness.
Let me ask you this. His decision making was not terrible. Is that the standard for being picked to play quarterback in the National Football League? Well, he's not terrible.
Well, you have, I mean, there's so many factors, that. I mean, he's not, nobody's going to make the right decision at all times. Do I think he's Ryan Tannehill 2.0? I think he can be. I don't think he's ever going to be, Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. But
those guys are special. I mean,
sure.
Hell, I wouldn't expect the Titans to draft Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady if he was out there. But I mean, can he be Matthew Stafford?
I think so. I mean, maybe. I think that is his ceiling. I think prime Matt Stafford is his ceiling. I think you're more likely to get Ryan Tannehill 2.0, which I will take, by the way. Been on Ryan Tannehill's bus. If we get Ryan Tannehill 2.0 out of Will Levis, I'm all in. I'll take it because it makes him capable. Now, what Will Levis is not going to have is prime Derrick Henry. Even though Tajay Spears out of Tulane is a great pick and probably will be good for his rookie contract and will be a guy that is going to impress. I don't think he's a 1,500 yard rusher. I think he's an 800 to 1,100 yard rusher at best. But he's a really dynamic back and can catch the football, which is obviously what it appears we're looking for in running backs, that third down back to take some pressure off of 22. So, and Teresa mentioned him. Josh Wiley is legit. He's going to be a guy that the Titans are going to lean on a lot. And if that's what we have to do is split out Chig and split out Wiley, hey, let's do it.
You know what? Here, bottom line, as I look at this graphic, and it feels like, Teresa pointed out Rob Maddie gave this draft class a B+. It feels like a lot
PFF
more
gave
people.
It an A. PFF gave it an A.
A lot of people gave it an A. That's what I was going to say. There are a lot of people on a national level who are more excited about this draft class than there are at a local level, I think. And Levis is the sore thumb to me. If they had gone receiver there, if they had sat at 41 and gone receiver, I'd feel miles better about this. I'm not a Will Levis fan. And I think it's because I think he's overblown.
And I did too. I was not in on him being one of the top 5 picks of the draft at any point, even after I start looking at him and going, okay, he might not have been as bad as I thought.
When you have to talk yourself into a guy.
Well, I hadn't really watched his film until about 2 weeks ago. And when I go back and watch this film against LSU, particularly 2 years ago, again, a top 7 defense in the country. And by the way, listening to Kurt Warner tell me that he can play, then I started going, okay, hold on. Because I'm not listening to Mel Kiper, but I'll listen to Kurt Warner. So, but you're right. I think this is an A+ draft if you have Jalen Hyatt in that second spot.
Or Cedric Tillman.
Don't change anything except put Cedric Tillman or Jalen Hyatt in the number 2 spot there. And this is an A+ draft, and everybody in Titans Nation is 100% on board.
Everybody is just like your boy JK. Let's go. They love that. But this guy.
But I will say this, and we're running out of time. Colton Dowell is a hell of a pick. And my guy, Ron Selesky, says he is comparable to T.O. if you get T.O. out of him, this draft is the greatest draft in the history of the Titans. I don't care what anybody else does.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Anyway.
As long as he's not still trying to play when he's 45.
Remind me to tell you off air what's going on with Antonio Brown right now. We got to get out of here, though. It is Reaction Monday. We had a heck of a reaction. I hope that you guys will come back tomorrow at 2:00. We'll have Chip Walters on and plenty more to talk about. So stick around with us on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bar and Joint. We'll see you then.